Hello. Yeah, let me begin myself so you can see me better. Hello. There we go. Hi. Okay, a few words. Hi. If you don't know me already, I am Aspen Dracena. I am your local Ice Dragon Bookworm VTuber. We are going to be continuing Layers of Fear today. My computer already started giving me some problems. Yay, I guess. Hopefully we won't have as many freezes as we had last week. Game, I'm looking at you. Eyes on you. Eyes on you. Alright, let's see. What can I say? If you are looking for the stream from yesterday, I have edited it so I can have the hand cam stream on one video and the Supermarket Together stream on a second video. They are all being downloaded to YouTube. The only streams I will not be downloading to YouTube are my co-working streams using Spirit City Lo-Fi, just because those aren't going to be very interesting streams. We're just going to be working alongside each other. I'm not going to be saying much, mostly so everybody can get some work done. In the meantime, we will be continuing with Layers of Fear. I want to finish this entire game. Like, not just the actor portion, but the daughter portion, I guess it's the actor is the ship one. And then it looks like there's two more parts, and I want to figure out what the whole writer connective sequence is, because it's kind of interesting. And this whole demonic entity that is haunting the author, yeah, really interesting. So we're gonna have to put up with the scuff because I just want to get through this game and see the whole story. I am so interested. Alright, so as usual, this is not necessarily the easiest game for everybody, as most horror is. So you know, as the disclaimer at the beginning of this game says, there's content that players may find disturbing or triggering. There's, alcohol and alcohol abuse. There's domestic and child abuse and neglect. Rats, dogs, fires, scary stuff, demonic imagery, self-harm, etc., etc. So, use your best discretion. We don't want people to feel like they are obligated to watch something that makes them uncomfortable. I've had times in my life when I've been obligated to watch a movie or something that actually was really disturbing for me, and I still to this day believe if you absolutely need to make sure that you are okay, that you are not comfortable with something, please take care of yourself, as always. So, we are going to continue this craziness. Yeah, the author is not well. Hopefully, our dear, the ghost wife, it's like, I hate her showing up, but I also feel incredibly sorry for her because the author is not a good person. And I think we've seen that so far in the story, and it's disturbing. Alright, so let's continue. We are going live. Gonna fix the game capture to Layers of Fear. And we're good. And I am going to hide my wings so they aren't in the way. And we're going to continue. So, anybody who's showed up, hi, and I'm happy you're here. We are going to continue. Everything will be posted to YouTube after we're done. Thank you. Let's go. Hey, Austin, how are you doing? Okay, let's see. We're going to finish chapter 6 of the author's story today. That is the last chapter of the author's story. We are going to get through this. So, let's continue. Continue. There we go. I'm okay. I am looking around this room, though, and this room isn't okay. This poor, sad room. Okay. Let's continue.
In the end, what he needed was a sharp focus. He had to finish it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this looks like it is what would really happen after a fire.
In any case, as your lawyer, I advise you to refrain from any imprudent actions. In other words, don't do anything stupid. We still have a chance of winning this. Believe it or not, I've gotten clients out of deeper shit than this. Just don't make it any worse. Lay low for a while and let me appeal the court order. This social worker definitely has it in for you. We can use that to our advantage. Portray you as a victim of the system. A husband in mourning, a momentary lapse of reason, an overzealous bureaucrat. Trust me, this is our best option. Considering what you've been through lately, I'd say we have a good 50-50 chance of a good outcome. But not if you keep trying to convince everyone that you've gone completely insane. No more outbursts, no more rambling. Better yet, no public appearances whatsoever. You could still get your daughter, though.
Okay. Can you guys hear... Here, hang on a second. I just want to make sure. Austin, if you're here, can you tell me, can you hear the game? I just want to be sure, because I can't see if I turned off the desktop volume or not. Let's see. Yes, I'm gonna... Okay. Just let me know if you can hear me or not, or hear the game or not, because I think... You know, I only have 2 screens to work with. Okay. Alright. Let's keep going then. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna go around.
In the end, what he needed was a sharp focus. He had to finish it.
So we already looked at the letter. I grabbed the letter.
In any case, as...
Close. Okay. So... Yeah.
Home sweet home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Very sweet.
Dear utterly despised traitor. Come. You turned on me in time of need. We'll worry about it later. Now you have your prize. Watch our demise. One last spectacle by a half-dead couple. A feast for your ears and eyes.
Yeah, this guy's disturbed. There's no hiding it now. He's not okay. Anything else opening up?
Auditorium.
Okay, that's not nice. Could we still try going this way? Oh gosh, I don't know. It blocked me. No, it didn't. Should I go through the chairs? Yeah, so the door creaked open by itself. I think I'm gonna go the way that's lit. I think I'm gonna go the way that's lit. Maybe delirious, but hey, there's lighting inside. It's some new version of the kitchen.
Our most precious silverware.
Our most precious silverware. Okay, yeah. I'll try not to be too gollum-y. Precious. What? What is that?
June! Don't forget.
June 9th. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this is just delightful. So lovely. Yeah. Oh, what's going on out here? Nothing there. Bunch of apples. Oh.
Finish. Just a little bit more and it will be finished. Nothing will stop me from finishing it.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Really? I don't know if the horror of the game is the actual horror of the game or the fact that it keeps freezing. Oh my gosh. Maybe I just need to, like, I don't know. I have so much storage space in my computer. Like, it should be working just fine. There shouldn't be any glitches. Like, it fits the specs and everything. Ugh. Come on. You can do it, game. You can do it. Yeah, we can do it. We can get through this. I know we can. Maybe it's just that, maybe the game is acting this way because the artist is clearly really having a difficult time, like, dealing with his alcoholism and, like, let's be real, like, addiction is a mental health issue, and it doesn't excuse being a jerk, though, or, like, harming your wife for materials to paint with. But yeah, we'll get through this. Come on, you can do it. Come on, game. I believe in you. Come on. It's okay. Look at those lovely apples on that chair. Aren't they lovely? I actually really like apples quite a lot. I have spent many a time on an apple orchard, and I've made apple crisp and applesauce. And all right, come on, you can do it, game. Okay, The game crashed. So we are going to open it again. Lovely. Okay. Alright. Looks like we have to restart it. That's fine, because at least we haven't gone too far. You know, I'm really curious about what, like, I don't know a lot about epilepsy, but I'm really curious about what aspects of the game may trigger epilepsy. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, we know. Go through here. Yeah, we're going. Come on. Yes, I know. Stuff. Things happen. Stuff, things. We're gonna get through here. Whee! You know, hopefully maybe my being so goofy about this is reassuring to people. I don't mind. I don't mind that at all.
June!
Yes, don't forget. Probably a birthday or a wedding anniversary or something. You know, I swear when it makes those like little tweety sounds, it's like, is something gonna happen? Is something gonna start? Okay.
Finish.
Finish.
Just a little bit more and it will be finished.
Yes, we know.
Nothing will stop me from finishing it. Just finish it. Finish.
Finish question mark.
Finish. Find it in yourself and finish it.
Okay. Alright, all these notes, are they done? Are they done? Okay, a piece of oh, there's another one.
Finish.
No, it cannot be undone. Okay. Have I seen everything in here? I think so. Yeah, like if I was in a house that was in this condition, I probably would get out. I would be thinking that, you know, there's probably, you know, a lack of safety here. Okay. What did that do? It doesn't do anything. Wait. There's something like a symbol? Oh, it opened the door. I guess. Yeah, I would probably choose not to be in a building that is in such bad condition. Oh, look, it's Dolly time.
Right. Just one more can and be ready. Look at you. Who's the dead boy? Who's the dead boy? You are.
Yeah. I don't know. This guy. He's got issues. I feel really bad for his kid. Nope. Okay. see.
You mind explaining this?
No. No. Yeah, dead rat. Yeah. It's one thing if it's a pet rat, but... Oh, look, the reflection of a rat on the wall. Anything interesting? Anything I can pick up? Anything with a light? Wait. Oh. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm such a completionist. I have to find everything. Okay.
I nest in his emptiness.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Wait. What? What? What's going on? Oh no, she's right there. I didn't see her! Oh gosh, okay. Oh, this is misery inducing. Where is she? Like, I'm sorry, lady. I'm sorry I'm playing such a horrible person, but... Like, I guess they wanted to up the challenge in this version, so they added her.
I nest in his emptiness.
Where is she? Where are you, lady? Oh, there you are. Wait, where's the door? They make this all happen so fast. Oh, hey, Ryan, how's it going? It's good to see you again. No, 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 no. Ah! She comes too fast. Oh my gosh. Like they... Oh my gosh. Like, I feel so sad for her and I hate her at the same time. Why is my heart too big? I don't want to hurt her, but... Okay. Alright. So I know she comes from the left side.
I nest in his emptiness.
I believe. Where's the trigger? Is it here? Yep, there she is. What if I go this way? Oh no, no, no.
I missed you.
Alright, take care, Ryan. Have a good day. Yeah, take care. Definitely eat and take good care of yourself. You're always welcome to stop by whenever you want. Yeah, sometimes when people raid, like I you know, would love to talk to them. At the same time, it's like they just finished a stream. Like they might need a break, you know. So I have zero expectations when people raid. All right, so I know which way I'm going.
I nest in his emptiness.
No. Nope, I'm dead. No.
We belong together.
Promise to post in the video games channel. Oh, okay. Oh, on Discord, right. We'll figure that out. I'll talk with everybody in the Discord, and I'll see if we can figure that out. For sure. The Discord channel is still very new, so we've got, you know, little bugs and kinks to work out. Like, my heart's actually beating really fast right now.
I nest in his emptiness.
Alright, maybe I should just... Alright, I'm just gonna go through the door as quickly as possible. Oh my god, she came fast! Okay, maybe I can lead her away. Or she was too fast. I mean, this is more of the same, really. Gosh, the timing of this really sucks. I wish she didn't respawn so fast. Oh my gosh, we did it! I hate her so much, but I care about her so much because it's so sad.
If I have to kill to be able to work, I will! I need to finish it!
Oh my gosh, yeah, my heart is beating really fast right now. Like, I literally, for this game, I have my compression gloves on. Because, sometimes, like, I'll, like, clench the mouse, like, really hard. Let's see, anything interesting? Please no come back, lady. Please no come back. I don't need you here. Thank you. Can I light things? I can't. No, I can't light the candles. Can I light you the candles? No. Oh my gosh, wait, how do I get around here? Okay, things move. I guess. Oh. Oh, look. Oh. Okay, interesting. So, like, is there, like, a maze aspect to this? Am I supposed to go up to the ceiling? Okay, so we come back here.
You have to see it! It won't be finished until you see it!
Okay, dude. Ooh, I've gathered 40. I got an achievement. Ugh. Oh my gosh, how do I get out of here?
To create is to reach into chaos, and chaos is darkness. Warm, soft, swarming. He understood it in the end. Will you?
Interesting.
What music should we choose for the exhibition?
Interesting.
A waltz? A march?
No.
A requiem?
A requiem. Anything else? Goodness, this game is a maze. Okay, I guess nothing. Oh,
I
there.
shouldn't try to contain my art in the workshop. The world is my canvas. The work is never finished.
So wait, I pick it up again, and things change again. Okay. This is interesting. All right. I guess.
I see the way she looks at me. Are you sure you'll finish this commission, she asks. Doubt in her eyes.
Yes,
Sometimes I just want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm still alive. I just really hope she's not coming after me again. Each mistake a pitfall. Am I supposed to go through that door? Yep. I'm alive. I don't know if the artist is. Okay. Okay. All right, just checking. This game is like super. Does that say cup? Oh, cursed. Okay, I guess we're going downstairs. Okay. If this is what I think it is, am I ready to let go? I don't know. Are you ready to let go, sir? Maybe it's just time.
Let go.
Oh, it's the our gentleman friend.
This isn't right.
Let go.
Yeah.
To find greatness, to find me, you must embrace chaos.
I'm not sure you need to have chaos in everything. Like, I mean,
You. It's you who brought this chaos upon us.
a little pain goes a long way. Okay. 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 No. Okay, is that the house from the outside? Because it looks pretty normal from the outside. Anything else here? Yeah, I think that's pretty much what this guy feels right now. Okay. I guess we continue. Ooh, right for the call.
Why don't you answer me? I need something, anything. Some old notes will suffice. I know you're dead, but we both know you're not really gone. Without you, it won't be finished.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all this art is like torture. Okay, we've got scales, so some justice is about to be served, I suppose.
Help me.
Like, how can you not help the person you love when they're suffering? Like, why is he so... I don't know.
I'm useless.
No, you're not.
What have I become?
It's
My
not
whole
your
body is a
fault.
cage.
Oh, that is cool. Look.
A weak child is to be eaten, not nurtured. You think yourself an artist?
I believe in you.
They loved each other at some point.
Please, I need you.
I don't know. Like,
We'll get through this. I trust you.
you know, like, I think about the people in my life who I care about. I would definitely look out for them. Like, I try to look out for, like, Human Mother, for example.
Yes, things are better now. I think we can make this work. I really do.
You know, like, I think about all the people I love, and I'd want to be there for them, you know? Like, this... And it's hard. Like, it is hard when somebody you love is struggling, but...
You know, even though you are my rival and the source of all my sorrows, you're also the only one I can still talk to. The only one who will listen. I'm not sure if it's funny or merely pathetic.
Yeah.
Probably both.
Yeah. But yeah, like when somebody you love is struggling, like love isn't just about what's convenient, you know? It's also about just caring for the people who need you.
My love, I wish I could do what all mothers do and tell you that monsters aren't real. But it wouldn't be true. Life can create things of exquisite beauty, but it can also twist them into hideous beings. Selfish, violent, grotesque, monstrous. It hurts me to say that your father has turned into one such monster. And I'm afraid the disease that afflicted his mind has taken hold of me as well. It sickens me to think what we've put you through. There is no excuse. I only ask of you, though I know I do not have the right to do so, to try and forgive us. I despise what your father has become, but I love and pity him all the
I think
same.
that's
I only
kind of
hope
what I
you can
feel.
find it in your heart to feel the same about him. About me. I wish I could see you blossom into a strong, beautiful woman. I wish I could be there for you. But I can't. This is the only way.
Like, this is not an...
Goodbye.
This is not a horrible woman. Like, she really is trying her best, but she's struggling. Her husband is struggling. Everybody's
Hello.
struggling.
It's about time for us to talk, don't you think? I mean, I've seen you in my house so many times, and yet I could never find the courage to face you directly.
Is that
Not until now.
God, I am such an idiot. To think that someone like me could ever compete with you in all your sublime beauty, everlasting, immortal. I had the most beautiful dream last night. I dreamt he came to me, embraced me, loved me, as he once did. But we both know that while I dreamed my silly little dream, it was you. It was you he really lusted for.
Any other ones over there? Anything in here? No. Like, this is like, it's a horror story, but it's a sad story too. Like, these are very broken people. And I think a lot of trauma has broken them, you know? Like, it really, it's sad. Like, addiction is no joke, man.
Haunting mimics. No. No. Not gonna let them in. Only clothes left behind.
And I guess all of it is, you know, there's the torment of trauma, but there's also the torment. Okay, death is but a layer of fear. I said the name of the game.
Hey there, princess. What?
Daddy's
Oh.
medicine.
This is Daddy's medicine. Whenever Daddy's hurting, this helps the hurt go away. No, don't touch that! Oh, God. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gosh, if I was like, if they made a movie, oh God, I would happily play the wife. I think that would be kind of awesome. Like, you know, definitely theater kid role for sure. I would happily play the wife. I mean, imagine how much fun it would be chasing people around.
You think I should be happy? Why am I not happy? I have a beautiful daughter. I think she is. I know she is. So why can't I look at her without feeling sick? I used to have a loving husband, wonderful, sensitive. Now, all I see is this strange man who only cares about his paintings. Like they matter at all. It's all so pointless. Music used to help. Doesn't anymore.
I mean, I do play the piano. And she was a musician. And, you know, like getting all, like, scarried up and everything. Like, with all the makeup and stuff. That is so cool. Like, that would be really fun. Oh, we're in the entry to the house. guess there's something I need to destroy in every room. Okay. You know, I think I liked the game better when it was more of a walking simulator. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we gotta go for this friend. Okay. Alright, I got everything over there. Alright, there's something in here I have to destroy. Oh, it's probably because I already did it last time? I think I destroyed the wheelchair last time. Because it's saving. Okay. So maybe I don't have to do the same things because I've already done them? Maybe they're being kind? Is the game actually being kind to me? What? Because I have to do this again, right? Okay, front door. She comes. Yeah, everything's done in there. Where else do I go now? Can I go downstairs now? Is it only gonna lead me to baby's room? Oh, back here. Where is she? Gosh, this is so hard because, like, you can't see anything. Wait, where is she? She's right there. She's right there.
Back for me.
I came back for you, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have to redo things I already did. That's good to know. It is a simple kindness game. Now, if only you can just, like, let me not have to deal with her anymore. I'd really appreciate that. Of course, you know, she's probably just a manifestation of his own guilt. When you really think about it. Glad I stayed there. Oh, ad break. Ad break! Sorry about the ad breaks. I'm gonna continue because we've already been through here. Oh. No. No. Stop following me, lady. No, can't go there. Anywhere I can go? Where do I go? Wait. Okay, baby room. Oh, that's right. We have to go backwards at the same time. Alright, let's go. Kitchen. Something in the kitchen. Okay. Fast, 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 me, fast, fast.
Don't leave me.
What is taking so long? Open this fucking door! I need to go! Open up! Hell is... Oh, God. No. No, 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 what have you done? No!
Dude. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Like, get some support. Get some help. Like, AA is everywhere. Please, get some support. And I'm not even saying that facetiously. It's just like... Addiction is such a sad thing. You know? No, nothing in there. I mean, I've seen too many people go through addiction and really just...
I finally figured it out. And it's all thanks
So
to you.
sad, you
You've
know?
showed me that there's no other way even now. Your sad smile confirms what should have been obvious. We will not speak again.
addiction is that one diagnosis, that mental health thing, where it absolutely, it's probably one of the most destructive in terms of how it affects the people around you. It's just, it's so sad, you know.
Finally, someone had to bear witness. I couldn't just look at my own work. Art and the artist needed an audience, a critical eye on things. I knew what I had to do. I gouged it, scooped it up like ice cream, felt like a butcher, a monster. At least there was to come something beautiful from all this filth.
Okay, dude, we get it. You're not well. You're really not well, and you should get some support or some help. And anybody who hasn't, like,
I hereby resign from service as maiden.
I think this is all stuff that we've looked at before.
I'm sorry for yesterday. You were right. I overreacted. It's just that this isn't about me. It's about her. Everything I do with her best interest in mind. I guess I've always believed that in an...
Yeah, I think we looked at that the first time we played. Little Vinny and partners. Forget about it. Oh, interesting. I can switch paintings. These are all things.
You
that
mind
I've seen
explaining this to
before.
me? I know what it is. Care to tell me how it got in my workshop? Stop.
Okay, there was something there that I didn't. There's a couple things I didn't get. So there's like a missing item over there. I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. Can I switch that one? No. That one's locked. Okay. Now, okay, there's a few things
We'll
here.
get you,
Also.
you furry leeches. Get out of my house.
Okay. There's a light bulb.
Fucking.
So there's something I missed there. There's a couple things I missed. That is okay. Anything out here worth noting? No. Nothing. No. Nothing, nothing. Locked. Disgusting. or a failure?
I'm so sick and tired of us talking through these.
Okay. Notes. All kinds of stuff we collected. Okay. I'll use these items. We got almost all of those. Okay, here's the piano.
I need to start practicing. I don't care what he thinks about it.
Okay. Alright, okay. Piano. Can I go in here? No. Probably not baby's room, I'm guessing. All kinds of babies items.
You like it, my little bird?
Okay. Looks like I missed something over there too. That's okay. Gosh, that's just sad. Wow. Alright, let's see. Where else can we go? That laughter is creeping me out.
I think I should be happy. Why am I not happy? I have a beautiful daughter. I think she is. I know she is. So why can't I look at her without feeling sick? I used to have a loving husband, wonderful, sensitive. Now, all I see is this strange man who only cares about his paintings. Like they matter at all. It's all so pointless. Music used to help, doesn't anymore. My home is my castle. Locked inside, I am safe.
While I can certainly understand that you are upset, and I have nothing but sympathy for your wife and yourself,
Skin grafts.
I must categorically...
If I am to be honest, I can't say your letter was unexpected. Numerous colleagues have informed me that...
I think
Okay. That's one of the painting. I think that painting is one that I got all the pieces of.
Been working all night.
Okay. Alright. I guess we're gonna go downstairs. I mean, the game is pretty much at its end, almost. So, let's see. Did we try going... Alright, well I guess it's time to go in the room. It's time to go in the room. And it freezes! Oh, no, no! Why you freeze? Alright, we'll just sit and wait and converse about this. Because, you know, so I've had people in my life, and I think this is really... In some ways, this game is a really good reflection of what happens when people go through trauma and they try to compensate it with something else. Oh, here we go. Okay. And addiction is it's so sticky. Like you can't fix something by trying to escape something. You know, like you can take breaks from things. You know, sometimes it's hard to deal with stuff. But you can't really escape. You know, you can't really run away from a trauma. You have to find ways to deal with it that will help you handle things in the long run. You know, you can't just be like, oh, well, you know, whatever. Like, this is... Life is hard. And it's just gonna be hard, you know? Especially when you go through trauma. But that doesn't mean you have to become a hard, awful person. What do I do here? How do I trigger?
Finish.
Okay, it's all the finishes.
Let's talk about the symbolic aspects of...
That's all the art stuff.
Everything I do to stop thinking.
Okay. Alright. How do I trigger the game end? Okay, I am locked in here. There's a trigger. Okay. Usually there's the letter here. Oh, there we go. It's almost the end. It is almost the end. Everything's gone. Everything is gone. Okay.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Why did you do it? You wanted me to die, not to go by yourself.
Bring me back. Do you see me?
I think I got the, like, basic end.
I didn't know how to tell you that your scars don't mean anything to me. But I still want to love you.
Show me.
Unless this is the mother and child ending. I think it just froze again. I just want to play the game. I know. This is so sad. And we're in this. We're stuck. You know, while we're stuck, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Ah. No, we're right here. Okay. Here we go.
We weren't good parents, were we? We tried so hard, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Protect her. Where are you going?
This is sad. So sad. think that's the thing about this story is like, you know, it's not just scary to be scary. One of the things I really appreciate about this game is that it's telling a story. And it's this sad story that is
Things you could do with
so
that.
tragic.
Such a power coming from your fingertips. Even the most delicate brush of any key made the world stop.
All gone. It doesn't matter.
I remember your happiness. You said our family was everything they told you you wouldn't be able to get.
Is it lost? You can't remember.
It has all the elements of a good ghost story.
You wanted to get better so badly. I was just worried, you know?
Help me.
Oh, finally. I guess the door's not open. Heaviness of the story is just
What will you say about it? How will you end his story?
will I end his story?
I used to hate you. Not anymore. I think even now, in spite of everything, I still might love you. You see, I finally understand. I know how you must feel. Lost. Alone. It took me a while, but I finally realized. Even with us, you've always been alone. I recognize that now as the quintessential part of your being. And I admit, hoping we could become a true part of your life was a grave error on my part. A grotesque misunderstanding. Still, if we're to make any sense of all this, if any of this ever mattered to you, for us,
Finish it. That's what we have to do. There's no choice. So, I guess I got achievement for finished it. I mean, I don't blame him. She's beautiful.
Yes, that's it. My love. I am so sorry. No. It's a lie. It's always been a lie. It won't bring them back. I see it now. I know what must be done.
Oh no. He started the fire. safe is clearly broken. You know? Wow. Throw a scuff, man. Tragic. Anything I can look at here?
It was done. He finished it. Or did he?
No. All right, so there's the inheritance. Oh, okay, so these are the different... Okay, here, hang on. So there's like all the different... No, I'm not going to play that. And this is a Vela director's story with thrilling new chapters of Layers of Fear out now for everyone. Current game update. Okay. Alright, let's see.
I don't know what happened. I struggled with the part where daughter enters the scene. Too close to home? No. It's this place. This fucking island. This lighthouse. I was afraid and called. The generator died. I went to restart it. I know it happened. And then maybe I was high? Or I actually saw my muse and had a conversation with her. Called later, but I didn't have time for it. I knew what to write. The block was gone. I knew how to finish this book.
Okay.
I believe in the end, he knew that one can't make art, true art, without cracks, without breaks, and without pain.
Can I exit the room? Ah. Heh. Okay, I am gonna walk around a little bit. Wait, what? This looks like it's older now. And like,
I wanted to thank you for this book. I've been struggling with my vocation as an artist,
creepy.
and reading about struggles helped me greatly in arriving at a decision.
okay. Like there's cobwebs everywhere. How long has she been in that room?
My palate was sated, nostrils stimulated, standing, venerated. It was never true, was it? Even before the depths of desperation. When the book became a hit, I already knew what I lost. I knew who she took from me. 10 years is a lot of time for a person to fail, to hit the bottom, to explore it, and to find the darkest secrets of their craft. I'm coming back there. I'm getting him back.
Interesting. I think maybe I need to turn the generator on. Let's turn the generator on so I can see things. It's like everything's falling apart.
Maybe deep in his heart, he longed for them. for any presence other than his own.
Can I turn it on? I guess I can't. Goodness, how long has the writer been in this place? What? 10,000 years. Alright, I'm gonna take the ad break for bathroom. Alright, back. Alright. So let's keep going, like, oof. Yeah. Oh, there's her son.
Bastards!
What? What about bastards? Okay.
You sick fuck! How dare you!
Hello. It is always good to hear from one of our writers.
Bring him back!
I'm afraid it's not possible at the moment.
You know where I'm at, sad man? I'm at your precious lighthouse!
Yes, I am aware of that.
Don't interrupt me! I'm at the lighthouse, and I know how to hurt your precious queen. I know how to break that pact. So either you bring him back, or I'll show you what I can do with words!
I will warn you that it is a fruitless endeavor.
I don't give a fuck about your warnings. I will destroy her. I will get him back. I will write my own story.
Thought you got me? Well, guess what? I can write without you. I always could.
Okay, there's music. Oh, there. I had that lamp.
Despite our previous reminders, the above amount due remains unpaid. We regret to inform you that unless payment is received by this matter will be passed over to our debt collection agency.
Debt collection. Okay. Why was that in the bathtub? Still closed.
Look, I bought his favorite wine. I thought it fitted the occasion.
Is that a Chianti again? Castello di Gran Felice? Looks like it's Chianti. Okay. Anything else in here?
I think I always loved how broken you are.
Okay. Stuff's going on. We've got the stuffs. Anybody else to call on the phone? Anybody else in 1955, if it still is 1955?
Congratulations on your comeback. We are delighted that after a decade, you still remember about our hermitage. Make yourself at home. I mean, after all, it is the only one you have.
The management. Okay.
What the fuck?
How do I do that? The management. I don't know, people. This is creepy. This door was closed again. It's locked. Okay, there's something I have to do before I can get...
I believe in the end.
I don't know what happened.
Okay. Inheritance. Final note. Okay, I guess. It's writing time.
Let's get this over with.
Okay. So it's moving us on to the next story. Hang on a second. I want to go back to the menu for a second. Chapters. Let's see. Make choices you didn't make your play. See where they lead. Saves files. So. Okay. I got the family ending. I did not get the loop or the art ending. So the family or the mother and child ending is what I got. And there's the daughter's story, which is inheritance. The final note is the musician's story. So that's about the wife. Okay. The actor's story is where they just put us. That's the cabin. And then the director's story. So the actor and the director. Do we want to do the actor's story? Or do we want to go back and do the daughter's story? I feel like we should do the daughter's story. Because this is going to take us into the actor's story, but I don't know. I feel like I want to do the daughter's story before we move on to the actor's story. So let's go back to the main menu. I want to go to chapters. Okay. I want to do the daughter's story. I think that's what I want to do first.
When I was a child, I used to lay in bed late at night, staring at the ceiling, listening to my father scream. Scream at my mother, scream at yet another failed masterpiece. Finally, just scream out into the darkness. It became my lullaby. And even when they took me away, the screams followed. I was once told that insanity runs in my family. It's time to make it stop.
Sickness, insanity, and death were the angels that surrounded my cradle, and they have followed me throughout my life. Okay. I'm going to take a quick moment. I need to refill my water. I will be right back. So, we'll do this. Okay. Alright, let's resume. We'll do the daughter's story. I don't know how long it will take us to finish it, if we'll finish it today. I will get through as much as possible. At least that's my goal. So it's the entry to the house.
Ugh. Ugh, it reeks in here.
I mean, yeah. It would. I'm sure there's plenty of rot in here.
I swear, that dog doesn't shut up!
Okay, Austin, so we just started the daughter story.
What? Quit looking at me like that. That dog is there for a reason. All right. You can let him out. For now.
Okay, so we're seeing this from her perspective when she was little. So the daughter's story is that the daughter is now an adult and she's going back to the house and trying to make peace with whatever she can. I mean, I think it's pretty difficult to make peace with what she grew up with. Okay, so I think that's the part that we just saw. He was doing something about the dog. Something not nice. Okay. So yeah, essentially this was released as the DLC to the game. And I don't know if they changed this as well in terms of the storytelling.
Still life.
Hawaii. Why wait for hell? You deserve it now. Interesting. Yeah, I know. Like, don't destroy the puppy, please. Yeah, you can't see her because of the light. Okay. Oh, yeah. Why is it the kitchen smell bad, but not this? I don't know. What is that? Interesting.
This place is a mess.
The rat traps are still there.
I can hear you in there. I'm coming, you furry little bastards. You're not getting away this time. What the hell are you doing in there? Get out!
My beloved, I've been thinking about what happened. I've been trying to understand. My dear, help me. I just don't understand. Why would you do it? Did you feel like there was no other way? Tell me, God damn it! What did I do to deserve this? I did my best. You know I did. I gave you everything. Selfish fucking whore! Why would you do this to us?
You can see that he crossed out an M. He was gonna say to me. Anything else to collect over here? Alright, let's try downstairs. Now, something I'm curious about is if, so every time in, oh, jeez. Jump scare. Every, like, October, there's, like, this gameplay thing that triggers in, where you can play this extra little, like, story. I do wonder if that's...
No, that's not how it went. Maybe... No, that's not right. Oh, God damn it! Why can't I remember? I told you never to come down here!
So yeah, there's this little story that happens with the original game every, like, October. There's, like, story that you can do in the basement. But I don't know if they carried that on to this version of the game. Oh. Yeah, I pushed it.
I wonder when was the last time this place saw sunlight?
What are you doing? Put that down! You're much too old for that childish nonsense.
Why much too old for that childish nonsense? She's just trying
Finally! Are you ready to embrace true art?
Oh, so the crayon is childish, but the paintbrush is not. I see. Apparently. Not like adults can't do art with crayons. I actually see a lot of artists over on YouTube and stuff who do artwork with crayons. It's amazing. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Little girl in red was walking through the woods when suddenly, out of nowhere, jumped out you know who. Eyes glowing bloody red, teeth sharp as razors. And yet the big bad wolf did not seem to faze her. Be careful, little girl, the big bad wolf sneered. You're in Fantasyland, where things ain't what they seem. Oh, shush, you big old meanie, the frightened girl exclaimed. You're the only threat in this wonderful land. With my magic crayons, I can do no harm. I can make the trees yellow, turn them upside down, turn grass into candy, make the sky go red. I can do whatever pops into my head. The wolf was unimpressed with the show of skill. You do have the power to do what you will. Alas, I humbly urge you to practice restraint, for you are responsible for what you create. You're nasty, jealous, and mean, said the little girl. I just want to have fun, and you want me to learn. I wish a big old rock would fall down from the sky and crush your big bad mouth into a mincemeat pie. Don't do it, I beg you, the big wolf cried. You lack scale and perspective, my sweet little child. But it was too late. His warning fell on deaf ears. Down came the rock and smashed them all to smithereens.
Yeah. Who's the big bad wolf there? You know? You lack scale and perspective. She's a child. But yeah, what I was saying before. Addiction, like alcoholism, like other forms of addiction, they are so, like, they hurt everyone, you know? And it's so sad because oh, okay, I have lights. Nice. Not that they're that bright. But like I have loved ones who, you know, their addictions got the better of them and they died because of them. And like a lot of times addiction is really people trying to cope with pain or struggle or something. So like I try to always remember the humanity in people, you know? But when there's something inside you that's hurting and you don't know how to deal with it, it's hard to know what to do, you know?
Creativity is not a toy, it's a gift! Do you want to squander it like all those careless brats out there?
And I'll be real, it's not always easy to get help.
Finally! Creativity is not... Finally! Are you ready to embrace true art?
Okay. So that says, let me out. Okay, interesting. Whether paintbrush or crayon, I mean, it's still art. Oh, wait. What's going on over here? Oh no, not the pony.
Oh, the summer trees. So green and vibrant and full of life, but also young and inexperienced. Let's try to find them a more poignant season, where they are wiser, have some stories to tell.
Okay.
No! Put that down! You were doing so well!
Hang on. Ah, and then I got the paints. There's more paints. Oh, this is just surreal. Oh, and then they have the same thing with the, like, messed up faces on the portraits. Is that just... wait, is that floating in the air? It is. It is. Okay. Oh, am I picking up different color paints? Ah! Okay. Yeah. So when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of dogs. I like them now. I think the thing about dogs for me as a kid is that they used to really love me. But, you know, when dogs get excited, they just kind of go for you. They just kind of like get really excited and really happy, and they start jumping on you and stuff. Oh, great. Thank you, King. So that used to scare me as a kid because I was kind of shy and kind of sensitive and overwhelmed by that dog behavior. So, yeah, that was always fun. Come on, game. Please don't freeze up on me again. There we go. See, sometimes a little patience goes a long way. Okay. I'm gonna go work on the painting some more, I guess. I like blue. We're gonna take the blue paints.
Oh, they sway in the breeze, but are none the wiser, just like you.
Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to paint in the different colors.
Brilliant! Let's add some more of the same color. That won't make it boring or predictable.
This guy has problems, man. Where was that red paint? It was back here. Or... no, that's green paint. We want red paint now, because we had the blue. And we had the green. Is it over here? There we go.
Ah, yes! The autumn of life. When man seeks shelter from the elements. Let's see how our little hut fares when the skies grow dark.
Oh, it's changed. Okay. You know what? Here. I want to try the crayon.
No! Put that down! What are you doing? Put that down! You're much too old for that childish nonsense.
Oh, that's how we transfer between worlds. Okay.
Finally! Are you ready to embrace true art?
Alright. I know this.
Ah, yes! The autumn of life.
Okay.
When man seeks shelter from the elements.
Alright.
Let's see how our little hut fares when the skies grow dark.
Okay, so I feel like he's asking me to... Okay. Well, let's grab this paint again. So it's yellow paint. Okay. Is there anywhere else I can go in here to find other colors of paint? Alright, there's blue paint over here. Okay. Okay. Wait, what? Alright, get me out of here. How do I get out of here? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, there. There's something. There's something to pick up over there. But how do I get close enough? Like, do you see that thing on the windowsill? There's definitely a little circle on it. I'm not sure how to get to that. Curse me and my curiosity. Can I jump? Nope, there's no option for jumping. Oh, maybe I can do that. No, that doesn't help. Crouch. No. Is there anything on here I can pick up? Something down here that I can pick up to use to okay. Okay, hang on a sec. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna look something up here. I have my tablet in front of me, so I can do this myself. Layers of Fear 2023 gameplay. Let's see. Fear guide. Walk through daughter's story. Workshop, pantry, first floor. Okay. Kitchen. Went through the kitchen, went to the basement. The workshop marked with red paint. Okay. Pantry, first floor. Office. Okay. favorite porcelain pieces, child room, magician's room. This doesn't really tell me much. Heritage. Kitchen, basement, workshop. Choosing crayon activates a linear sequence of childhood dreams in which you must go a linear path. Should I have crayon? Is there a crayon I can get? Yeah, this walkthrough is not telling me much. Oh! Oh, the ball. The ball. There we go. Come on. No Sisyphus for me. Aha. There we go. We got it. And that is yellow paint. Okay. Not sure I went a little whooshy whoosh there, but hey. Okay. Nope, nothing this way. Let me see if I can find my way back. It's over there. Alright, yeah, okay. Let's see.
You see? In the end, all we take for granted is fragile and temporary. Man passes while nature endures.
Sure.
Speaking of which, I don't think our proud stallion likes the weather. Let's brighten things up a bit.
Okay, so maybe this is when I need the yellow. The yellow paint. Was it back this way? What? Ah. Whoa. Okay. That's green paint. I think I need yellow paint. Because he said brighten things. And I would say yellow is more of a bright color than... Well, green's also a bright color. So maybe green? But I'll wander and see if I can find some yellow. Oh, okay, that's purple. Alright, we don't need purple right now. If I can't find yellow, then it's the green. kind of, it's funny because I know I'm not saying as much with this part of the game, but part of that is I haven't played this before, and I'm not sure of this portion of the game. And you know what's interesting is look at how close to the floor we are compared to the ceilings. Oh, jeez. The dog is forever gonna freak me out. Okay, I think I can find the way through, which I think is here. There we go. Alright. Let's go back and do the green, because there's no yellow. Okay. Can't go back that way. Let's go this way. This is just interesting. But I feel like what this is telling us is that the daughter is not at her best either. Like, she's got something going on too. Alright. Let's try... Oh, I think I have to go this way. Okay. There we go. Is green okay for this?
You're not listening! How is some soggy grass going to help here?
Yeah, okay.
We need to make it warmer.
Warmer. So yeah. So where's the yellow? Oh, wait.
No! Put that down! You were doing so well!
Alright, get me some yellow then, Dad. Like, where's the yellow paint? If you just give me some yellow paint, I can make it warmer. Alright, so that's the green. And that's purple. Unless, this way? No. Can't go further there. I guess we have to be, like, yelled at? Before we get the yellow paint? Which kind of sucks. So that's the crayon. Okay. I guess we'll do the purple paint and see what happens if he yells at me some more. Because I guess he doesn't mind doing that.
No! A wet rag won't do us any good!
Okay, then tell me where's some yellow paint. Where is yellow paint? We tried the green. Okay. There must be someplace I haven't gone yet. Okay. So, green is there. Purple is there. No. Because warm is like yellows and reds and orange. So we gotta find something along those lines. Okay. So we've been through here. That was the purple. I wish she didn't move so slow sometimes. Let's see. Can I do something with those? Not really. Okay. Can't do anything with that. So maybe I just need to... Oh, here. Missed that. Come back out here. And there's the fire. Okay. So, yellow or red or orange? Nothing's on there. Although fire is yellow and red and orange. Dogs. There. There we go. Or that's white. I don't think we'll get any further with that. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go back and see if that works. It's kind of hard to tell. Like... Oh, okay. Game. Very, arigato gozaimasu to that. Thank you, I guess. Let us keep going, please. I want to get through. If I continue this next week, I think I'm going to do is I'm going to uninstall it and reinstall it to see if that helps. Because I'm not... Come on. If you're going to drop, just drop on me. Please. Okay, it just crashed. We'll get it going again. And I know this DLC isn't super long. If we can get through this today, then... Yeah. Maybe I do need hugs. I don't know. Aw, thank you. Okay. Continue. Okay, so that brings me back to main menu. Yes. 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 Chapters, daughter's story.
When I was a child, I used to lay in bed late at night, staring at the ceiling.
Did you just... Yeah, back to menu. Yes. Chapters. Daughter's story. Oh, okay. That's a continuation. Alright.
When I was a child, I used to lay in bed.
Yeah, we don't need that. Okay, there we go. So hopefully this will take us back through the progress that we've made so far.
I wonder when was the last time this place saw sunlight?
Okay. So we've gone through all of this.
What are you doing? Put that down! You're much too old for that childish nonsense.
Okay, alright. We already went that way. Let's get the paint. Or there was a paintbrush back here. Paintbrush.
Finally!
Okay.
Are you ready to embrace true art?
Do I have to redo this whole section?
Oh, the summer trees. So green and vibrant and full of life.
So I need to find the
But
red.
also young and inexperienced. Let's try to find them a more poignant season, where they're wiser, have some stories to tell.
Okay. We know how to get through here. We've got... Dog's gonna come barking at us. I think the dog... does that, right? When we're doing the right thing. So maybe that's a hint.
Ah, yes! The autumn of life. When man seeks shelter from the elements. Let's see how our little hut fares when the skies grow dark.
Okay, so I need, like, black. Okay. And that was somewhere. Oh, where was black? That's yellow. Which we needed the other time. Where was black? Black. Yellow, blue. Okay. Black. All right. see if we can trigger things, because this is where the trigger is. Alright. I have to get the ball. And make like Sisyphus. Sisyphus. Come on, keep going. You can do it, ball. Come on. You can go. There we go. And that is the black paint. Alright. We have black paint. And we can go back. La 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 la. We know how to get through this. Third time we need the yellow paint. Okay. You know, the way how parents pressure their kids is just kind of crazy sometimes.
You see? In the end, all we take for granted is fragile and temporary. Man passes while nature endures. Speaking of which, I don't think our proud stallion likes the weather. Let's brighten things up a bit.
Okay, so we're gonna go find that white paint. Alright, so we're gonna go in all the circles. Was it that way? Okay. Circle, circle, and that is green paint. We're not looking for green. And that is purple paint. We're not looking for purple. We're heading in the right direction. Because dog was barking. Okay. We'll get through this. And we'll do it a lot faster. A heck of a lot faster this time. So he keeps giving hints about what colors. Okay, and the dog, I guess we chase after the dog. Because the dog is telling us where to go. Right? And make a face through. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. See, the dogs are the hint. The dogs. I think the dogs are our guidepost. Anything to do with the dog is good. Even though it gives me major jump scare issues. Okay. Is that it? Back. This better be right. If not, I'm gonna be really annoyed. You know, I don't know, like it's interesting. I watch people play horror games. Some people can make them so funny. Like there's some streamers, I watch them and I'm like, how did you just make that game so funny? Or as I'm playing it, I'm not sure the games are actually very scary necessarily the way I play them. But, I don't know. Some games, some people play them, it's just their reaction alone makes the game scary. Like when they jump a lot. Alright, There's gotta be a way in. Somewhere around here. She moves so slowly. I don't know why. Why are you so slow, daughter? Why hast thou become so slow? Ah, I think we're almost there. Yes. I see the signs. The signs. Okay. Come on. Come on. Please be the right paint.
That's right! The sun bestows its kind rays upon the land.
Yay!
It's getting warmer and warmer until finally... Marvelous, isn't it?
What?
I know it seems like a tragedy, but a beautiful tragedy is always better than an unremarkable existence.
You okay, Dad?
In his own way, I believe he meant well. He wanted me to excel, hoping that when the time came, I would succeed
Okay.
where he failed.
Alright, we got through that part.
Avoid his mistakes. God knows he made plenty of those.
Okay. We're through. Oh my gosh, we got through. Okay. We're going upstairs, guys. We are going upstairs. Gosh, all that art, like, in this, like, messed up house. Okay. Let's go.
What's wrong with this thing?
Let's see. Let's go see what's going on over here. Okay. Can we go in there? That door is still locked. It's locked in the... Okay. Okay. Gosh, that's so sad. So she was hiding in the closet while her dad was yelling at her bedridden mom. Great job, Dad. Think that was easy on either of them? Okay.
Huh. I don't remember that being there. I can hear you out there. Please, please help me. It hurts. Oh, it hurts so much. I can't take it anymore. Why won't you help me? Oh, you're just like your father. You don't care about me. You probably wish I was dead.
What? I tried to turn on the music. Gosh, this kid. Wow, like, seriously? Oh, Portrait of Dorian Gray again. Oh my gosh. Like, all these knives posting, okay. Like, that's not disturbing. Okay. I guess there's nothing else to get in here. Ah, wait. Do I need to close the door? Okay, are they blocking each other? Yes, they are. No. Wait, ah. Okay. I think I'm gonna go in the baby's room first. Well, let me check. Is this... Oh. The painting room. Oh, was she punished being put in this room? It's actually amazing that those paintings are like so sturdy. Like they're not damaged. Okay, let's try the baby's room.
All right, young lady. Shall we continue? Right. Whatever happens, just keep looking at me and listen. Now,
Princess, keep looking at me.
Okay.
Now, where was I? Ah, yes. The princess was all alone in the dark. And yet, she felt that the evil witch was lurking nearby. As her eyes adjusted to the darkness, she saw something moving in the corner of her eye.
Look at me!
As her eyes adjusted to the darkness, she saw something moving in the corner of her eye. And yet, she did not dare to move, for she knew that that would be the end of her. The princess heard a fearsome growl. The witch had unleashed her familiar, the hellhound. The monster sniffed at the air, its perky ears wary of even the slightest sound. The princess remained motionless, letting the monster pass.
Okay, I'm trying
There was
to
a stillness
not move.
in the air. The princess breathed a sigh of relief. For a moment, it seemed like the worst was behind her.
Oh God, don't tell me there's
And
something
yet she
behind
knew
me.
that it was not over.
No.
There was
of
still
course it's
danger
not
nearby,
over.
waiting for her
the
slightest move.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Frozen in terror, she kept looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
Suddenly, she heard a terrifying cackle. It was the evil witch herself. The wretched thing despised beauty and innocence, for she had neither. The hag was near, just outside of view, but our heroine didn't dare to look. She had to keep her head straight, lest she be cursed by the witch's foul magic. She could almost feel the chilling touch of the witch's hand at her neck. She felt the sudden urge to run away, but fought it with all her will, for she knew that was precisely what the witch would have wanted. And then, just like that, the chill was gone. She saw a glimmer of light over the horizon. The sun was almost upon her. It was almost dawn. It was almost over.
Yeah.
And there. The princess stood triumphant in the sun, smiling as she... Wait, that's not right.
What?
Her face. Why is she still... scared?
Because you're abusive toward
Oh,
her
God.
and you scared her with
I
that
didn't mean
horrible
to-
story?
Princess, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
It's not that he was cruel. It's just that, to him, reality was just a pale reflection of art. He was blind to the world, unless it was translated to him through a canvas.
That is interesting. Oh, here. Feeding her dolls to the dog? Okay, I think the last place to go is the office, and I think, if I recall correctly, like what I saw, the office here is supposed to be the longest part, but it's also, I think we tried all of them. So, this I think is the last part we have to do. Oh my gosh. How little are we? I love how this game is like, it's giving us like perspective from when she was really little. Okay. Piano. Okay, go to door. Do I go this way? What about this door over here? No. Okay. Oh, I think... Okay, let's go back to the piano. I feel like the piano may be significant here. Can we get up on the piano? Can I climb on the chair or something? Okay, so the flashback in the office is longer one. A small child must go down successive corridors and rooms performing simple tasks. First must play a simple melody by tapping the piano keys. Okay. I can't get up to the piano. I'm too small. So can I go through any doors? There's like corridors I'm supposed to go through. Okay. Here we go. Am I slightly bigger? Alright. Okay, here we go.
Hey there. Oh, come on, don't be afraid. It won't bite. Here, try for yourself.
Wait, where are the keys? Okay.
No, that's not quite right. Huh, still not quite there.
Whoever's pounding on that piano, quit it! Did I not make myself clear?
You know what? I have an idea. Go get your crayons.
Okay. Alright, go get crayons. Alright. Where are my crayons? Not in there. Where else they could be crayons? This is like surreal. I don't ever, like, how do you remember being that small? You know? There we go. Okay, now back to Mother at the piano. What do I do, Mother? Oh, okay. How about...
No? Can't you see the colors?
Okay. What about the colors? Oh. Blue? Circle.
That's actually not bad. Look at you, young lady.
Everything's
It
fresh.
looks like talent runs in the family.
Okay. Alright. Okay, second task. Let's find out the second task. Okay. Door. Door. Okay. So I think now we're supposed to find... Find pieces of a ripped painting. Paintbrushes, okay. They would have a lot of those in that household. Huh, interesting. Oh, okay. Alright. Is there something we're supposed to get up here? There we go. There we go. Can I get down? Oh, is everything sorted out? Different room. Oh, it's like tidy now. I wish it wasn't so cloudy. Oh, the chair is gone. Did I not? So, here, maybe... Okay. things are changing. All right, let's see. Okay, I can't move past that. Okay. Is there anything in here I can grab? No. What time is it? Painting, sleeping, painting, hiding, painting, crying, crying, painting. Yeah, she's not at her best, is she? Oh. Oh. I think that's my fault. Oh no! Oh no! Running baby doll, yikes. Interesting. What? Oh, please don't tell me it froze again. It's hard to tell when a screen is black. Wait, I hear sounds. There we go.
I can't do this without you.
Interesting. Oh. Okay. Fire, fire, fire. Okay. It's on fire. Horsey. Okay. Train.
Ow! Oh, hey, Princess. I didn't know you were out here. No, it's all right. Daddy just tripped. You know, clumsy old peg leg. Oh, there. You don't need to worry. Daddy's just tired. So very tired.
Okay, tired man. Maybe you need a nap. And a cookie. Okay. Ad break. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick bathroom run. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I guess those are the painting pieces? I thought I'd have to get them one at a time. 3 rich portrait pieces. Okay. Okay. Can't hear the game very well right now. I might have... Okay. No, okay. No, I can hear myself. Or hear the game, rather. Is there anything else I need to find? Maybe go upstairs. Or this way. Oh, okay. This is how I find... Ah, okay. So they tore off, and now I have to find where the other ones are. Okay. So I found that one. And I have to... Got it. Got it. Got it. Alright. So... Okay. Let's see. I came from this direction. I guess I can go upstairs. Mother. Hello, Mother. Oh, wait. Did I do something there? Oh, there's another piece. No! Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's keep going. Maybe this way somewhere? Upstairs again. These her brains are like the house our thoughts live in. This is definitely the house she grew up in. Okay. Can we find anything So I found all the pieces. Nope. Okay. The chandelier. Huh. Okay. Alright. Looks like a decent place, I suppose. Alright. Huh. Okay, so I guess the 3 pieces being found and all. I'll move on to the next portion, which is, I guess I'm supposed to... Here. Let's try this. Oh boy, this is a nice place to be. Very nice indeed. Scribbles all over Mommy's portrait. Loads of papers. Things stuck to the wall. There's a door here. Which door? Maybe follow the light. Okay. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
Yeah, do you know my name? Baby Aspen, I guess. Okay. Is there something over here? Okay. I heard a meow. Hold on just a moment. God love it when you're interrupted by human mother asking about the car. Okay. I wouldn't usually answer the phone, but I know it's always her. So, yeah. Goodness. Creepy. Am I collecting all the birthday cakes?
Honey, you have to come out. She's waiting for us.
Are the birthday cakes going to
sorry,
get excessively worse?
I can't.
Okay, remember it like it was yesterday. Recall 6 of your childhood memories. Okay. Alright. I think I can go back this way. And then go up here. Anything up here for me? Gosh, like, this is not a place a small child should be. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. I fell. Okay. Alright. This way. Ah. We can go back around. And go to this way. Oh! Yeah. No, thank you. And then I guess I have to... Oh my gosh, that's so narrow. Oh, there's another birthday cake.
Why would you do this? What am I supposed to do now? I can't do this without you.
Is it made out of Play-Doh? It looks like Play-Doh. Okay. Gosh, I wish, you know, I like this, but I kind of don't like the haziness. And I guess it's supposed to represent the haziness of her memories, but, because she was a child. But it's really difficult to see what's going on. Anything here? Oh, jeez Louise. Why? I mean, you know, to be honest, considering how awful her dad is, this is not the worst thing in the world.
What was that? Oh, no.
Honey, I need you. I need my medicine.
Mom's medicine, I guess? Can I just look at it? Okay. I don't actually pick it up. Alright, anything over here? I can't climb it. Okay. Yeah, it's all about the medicine that I can't pick up. No. Okay. So how do I move forward from here? Oh, door. Nope, that's a wardrobe. The light is on over here. Is there something I need over here? Ah, this is door. Ooh, it's bright and colorful. Also bright and colorful. Ah. Missing cat. Mr. Scooter. Reward. All my dollies. Contact at. So I have to do something about missing cat. Okay. Okay. Ducky. Can't open this door. I guess I'm just looking for the dolly, or the kitty. Oh, kitty. Okay, I need to find the wheel. I guess. Is there a wheel around here? Is that the wheel? There's something down there. Oh my gosh, a picture where they're actually happy. No, not the cork. Oh, there was something about, Let's see, what can we do here? Use the cork lid on the table. Bookshelf. Bookshelf. Wait, where's the cat? Okay. So maybe this is shelf. Okay. Back to the bookshelf. bookshelf. I gotcha. Oh, please don't do that. Yay. Kitty. Meow. Meow. There we go.
I hate you!
Good. At least you can still feel something. I look at you and I see nothing. Not the beautiful girl I fell in love with. Not the mother of my child. Not even the hateful monster you pretend to be. You're just empty. I look at you and I feel nothing. And it scares the hell out of me.
You forgot to say how hideous I am. Go on. I know you want to.
God, not that again.
I know you're disgusted with me. Admit it.
You're right. I am disgusted with you. But it has nothing to do with the way you look. I'm disgusted with what you let it do to you. How you let it change you.
A door. It's locked. Wait, there's something blinking over this way. Is that just something on the floor? Oh. Ah, there we go.
Princess. Princess, wake up. I need you to get dressed real quick. There are men coming. Some very bad men. They want to take you away from me, but I won't let them. We won't let them, will we?
I guess not.
Yes. Now I remember. Throughout all the chaos and misery, in his own flawed and misguided way,
I, grasping at the remains of my sanity, declare this to be my last will and testament. I hereby deem all my previous wills just as worthless as the shallow husks calling themselves my friends and associates. To my agent, Thomas Caldwell, I bestow the hellish vermin that infest my home, praying that they will gnaw away at him endlessly, bleeding him dry just like he did to me. To my publisher, Liam Brickstone, I bequeath the flames that consume the love of my life in hopes they will devour him, along with the wretched whore and the squealing bastard he calls a family. To my lawyer, James Jerome Sadler, I pass on whatever illness has rotted my brain and soul away, so that he can feel just as empty and useless as he was to me. To any other parasites that come crawling out of the woodwork, I leave nothing. To hell with all of you. Finally, to my beloved daughter, I leave all my earthly possessions. For what they're worth, I hope they will inspire you to realize your true potential. The final, most precious gift, however, is not mine to give. You will have to discover that on your own. I believe in you, as I always have.
Okay. He is a broken, bitter man. Guess the house is on fire. Okay. I guess we'll keep going. I think we did everything that could possibly be done in here. Okay. Door? Oh, that's right, I have a flashlight. Door. Interesting. Showing the door. That means you've unlocked the endpoint. Once. Already Okay, I think what this means is I can go into this room finally. I think it's unlocked. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what I expected to find. A farewell note? A final will? What I found was an apology. Expressed in the only language he ever truly knew. At that moment, I could finally see my father for what he was. A man driven insane with sadness and guilt. Trapped in this house, a nightmarish echo chamber of past mistakes and tragedies. It was this house, a place beyond hope, beyond redemption. I knew what I had to do. I had given up trying to understand my father a long time ago. But I could finally forgive him.
To the pain, I guess.
Hey, princess. What have you got there? Oh, that's so lovely, sweetie. But why pink?
Interesting. Why pink? All right. Okay. So you know what? It's been 4 hours. I think I'm gonna stop here for the day. So I'm going to... Yeah, asking why pink. Right. Yeah, so I'm gonna quit for the day. I'm getting kind of tired. I'm gonna switch to just chatting screen. So, yeah. You know, I think one of the things that I really like about Layers of Fear is that there's a very real story to it. And it's not like, ooh, let's be ooky, spooky, scary, blah, 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 scary, scary stuff. You know, it's really... Oh, no! There's an ad. Oh, wait. Zip. Here. see. There, it'll be cozy. Oh, right. Yeah, it's finished. Yes. Okay. One of the things I really like, part of the reason why I really like Layers of Fear is the storytelling quality to it. Like, you know, there are other horror games, it's like the whole story's horror and everything's horrifying and, you know, scary monsters, scary, you know, everything. But this, you know, it has that horror, it has that, you know, everything. Oh no, what's wrong, LT? You got some bad news? Oh no. Well, let me know if you feel comfortable. So yeah, one of the things, I think the name of the game makes a lot of sense because fear can be caused by a lot of things and a lot of really very real things. Like, even a lot of people have phobias about stuff. A lot of times those phobias come from a real place. So I think the reason why this game is so poignant in a way is that it's because when you go, "Aw, LT, I'm so sorry you got fired. I'm sure you'll find something else. You know, hopefully you can find something better, and then you'll feel like, oh my gosh, you know, maybe I didn't need that other place." So, yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. But yeah, so I feel like the storytelling is very layered in this game, which is why I like it so much. I'm going to continue the game next week. I'm going to do the musician part, and then we'll go to the, what was it, the director and the actor and the director part on the ship. So we'll do that next week. Tomorrow I will be streaming, since it's a holiday in the US, I will be streaming on Monday. So I'm not sure what time. I have to talk with Ocha because Ocha and I are going to be continuing Supermarket together. I will discuss that with him tonight, and I will announce it on Twitter when we're going to do it. Yeah, anybody else who's going to be having the Labor Day holiday, if you get to enjoy it, have fun. I'm sorry. It's hard, LT. Like, really, you know, I tell people a lot. I've been through a lot in my life, and I feel like, you know, my heart is not, like, if you pulled my heart out of my chest, it would be in bits and pieces with, you know, staples and sewn up and everything. I think, you know, there's a lot of pain that we can carry over time. And, you know, a lot of times we just got to do our best. Because the world is kind of awful sometimes. But I also find that sometimes the world is really amazing, and people can be really kind and compassionate out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't feeling well yesterday. I posted a little bit on Twitter. I have a health issue, and sometimes it kind of puts me out. I get really painful cramps in my stomach area, and it's awful. It is really awful. But yesterday people were incredibly kind and compassionate toward me, and I'm so appreciative of that. And I think that's kind of the thing. Like, awful stuff in life happens, but when good things happen, like, the most important thing you can do is show appreciation. Because people are even more likely to be kind and compassionate toward you when you show that you appreciate them for doing all the wonderful things they do for you. So, LT, I really hope you find a new job. And if you need to just, like, you know, take a break, stop by every once in a while and say hi and tell me how you're doing, that's fine. Like, you know, I want to be someone who encourages you to, you know. I know it's hard, though. I've had times when I've been fired from jobs, and usually I've found that when I've been fired from a job, it's not the job for me. You know, and then I'd find another job. I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe this is actually where I need to be right now. Life is not a linear thing. You know, you always have different branches you go on to. And it's okay to try a lot of different things. Like, you don't have to, life doesn't have to be, you grow up, you go to school, you get your degree, you get jobs, you know, you get married, you have kids. Like, you know, sometimes you'll have, like, the weirdest jobs. I've had so many weird jobs, like, random stuff. So, you know, I've even had a time when my job was to move rocks in a park. Like, what? And then I've had a lot of times when I've been, you know, worked in a school or a few schools, worked as a nanny, or, like, I've worked as a therapist. I've worked as for a business consultant. I have worked in research, done so many things. Don't be afraid to, this is an opportunity to try something new. So, yeah. Aw, you're welcome. I hope that my words help somebody. Anybody, really. 'Cause, you know, I will be real with you guys. Like, life is not easy. It doesn't get easier. I know people in their 80s. Like, you know how some people say, oh, yeah, like, you don't really know how to adult until you become a certain age. Yeah. Dragon moving rocks would have been easy. They were heavy rocks. I'm not that big a dragon. But, yeah, I mean, sometimes you just, you know, when one door closes, the other door opens. When you lose a job, it's an opportunity to put yourself out there and find something new. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there for things that may seem a little out of your reach. Because even if they're out of your reach, it's still an opportunity to practice applying for a job. You know, it's still an opportunity to explore what you can do, and don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to try, because I used to be afraid of taking risks a lot. And I think I really limited myself when I was younger. And I think at this point in life, it's like, whew, you know, maybe I should have taken more risks. Maybe I should have put myself out there more. I mean, even doing this right now, VTubing is a huge risk. I don't know that I'll ever become all that popular. You know, will just have to do my best and be myself. And that's all we can really do, is do our best and be ourselves. And hopefully other people will recognize that and be drawn to us and see what's good in us and see the value that we have. And, yeah. So, I hope everybody has a good Sunday. If you are going to have tomorrow off, I hope you have a good Monday. And if you want to come back and see me stream again with Ocha, who is such a wonderful friend, please do. If you can't, that's okay. 16 hours, you might want to eat something, LT. I would eat something. 16 hours is a long time to go without eating. I hope you've at least been drinking water or having something to drink too. I know it's hard to get bad news, and sometimes we don't want to eat when we're feeling bad, but, you know, eat something easy, like a sandwich or, you know, something that you like to eat, you know, and, you know, keep it simple, you know, have something that's fairly healthy if you can manage. But, you know, like I know sometimes if you don't feel like eating because you're stressed out, you know, it's better to eat something than nothing, you know. So if you have to have a candy bar, have the candy bar. Just don't make that your go-to meal for the next few days. But one candy bar's fine. I think it's okay. Just take good care of yourself, okay? So yeah, I will be on tomorrow. This week, because of the holiday, my work schedule is different. So I might be, let's see, what am I going to be doing tomorrow, or this week? So I will do my stream on Thursday, the co-working stream, and I will probably have to put anything else off. Yeah. No, eat something, LT. Please eat something. Find something, please, eat something healthy, eat something good, eat something you like to eat, just something. You know, I know it's really hard when you're feeling sad or upset to take good care of yourself, but, you know, please, you know, if not for yourself, for everybody who loves you. Because I'm sure there are people who care about you, and they probably want you to be okay. So, you know, eat something. You know, even if it doesn't taste like much in your mouth right now because you're feeling down, you can get through this. I mean, look at me. Like, you saw my, if you saw my lore, like, you know, or in my lore, like, I lost everybody. And that was hard. And it's hard to lose everything that you know and love and are familiar with. And, you know, it's hard. It is hard. And it can be a big blow to our hearts. But I'm sure you can find something else. I absolutely believe in you. I absolutely do. You'll get through it. I have full faith in you. And I know it's not always easy to have full faith in yourself. But please, have faith in yourself. You'll get through this. You'll find something good. You know, if you like to be hugged, find somebody to give you a few hugs over the next few days. You can do this. You can make it through this. I completely believe in you. And it's hard to lose a job you like. It's hard to lose any job. But you'll get through this. Believe in me. Believe me. You will get through this. And, yeah. So, yeah. So, tomorrow. Actually, you know what? Just, you know, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. I just changed my Twitter handle. So, it's just at Aspen Dracena. Just let me know if you're doing okay. All right? And if you can't come to the stream tomorrow, or, you know, whatever, you know, just let me know how you're doing, okay? Like, don't get too down on yourself, because it's hard. I've been out of work before. It's hard, but you'll get through it. Nothing stays bad forever. Like, I'm gonna tell you that as somebody who's been through some pretty bad stuff. Nothing stays bad forever. You'll get through it. All right? So have a really good time zone. Don't know what time it is for everybody, but take good care of yourselves. You know, don't be bad parents, or you know, show some kindness to your family, show some kindness to yourself, and I will see you again soon. I will be posting my schedule for next week on Twitter sometime tonight. All right, so take care. LT, I believe in you. Don't give up. I believe in you. All right, have a good night. Love you.